Today we have Paulette McCormack, who is the founder and owner of Fresh HR Insights. Paulette has over 11 years of both national and international experience in the HR field and is also a lecturer at Griffith University. As a way of introduction, Paulette, can you tell us a little bit about your company?
Fresh HR Insights was founded over 5.5 years ago. So we noticed a gap in the market with small business owners on the Gold Coast. They were going to the Fair Work site and getting confused. There's so much legislation on there, so much terminology, and they didn't really know which way to look. And often where they thought they were doing the right thing, they actually did the wrong thing. So we kind of stepped into that market to give them practical advice and using the terminology that they actually understand within the employment law side of it as well, to help them along. So just get in there and get it done for them.
An alternative to employing someone full-time could be the use of a subcontractor, but that brings issues as well. Even if they provide an ABN and an invoice, the issue may be that they in fact are full-time. What should you do in this case?
This is one people get tripped on quite a lot, and it can become quite costly, and I can certainly give an example of it becoming costly for a particular employer. So with that, if they're not a subcontractor and they are deemed to be an employee, then it's a sham contract. So how do you determine if it's a sham contract? Well, you look at the totality of the relationship. So if you're paying a subcontractor an hourly rate, well, that's actually a characteristic of an employee. So they would look, are they an employee or not? So a subcontractor, you would ideally be paying them per project. So if they've got a project, say for example, if they're a tiler to tile a house, when they've finished that project, then that's the end of their contract. Okay, but if you're paying them an hourly rate and there's ongoing work, then that's a characteristic of an employee. You'd also look at the level of control. So if you tell them they have to be at work at 9 o'clock, they finish at 5 o'clock, Monday to Friday, then that's quite a level of control. But it also means they can't go out and do work for somebody else. Now that's a characteristic of an employee again. If you're providing all the tools and all the equipment for them as well, a company vehicle, company uniform and everything, then that's a characteristic of an employee. But if they provide all those tools and equipment, then that's a characteristic of a contractor. A contractor would also have their own insurances, so they'd have their own public liability insurance, for an example, or their own professional indemnity insurance along with that as well. If you have got someone who's deemed to be a employee through the totality of the relationship, you're going to have the ATO coming after you as well, because you've got your tax and your super obligations too. So you can get fined quite heavily for it.
Other issues worth considering are conflict management, issues around unfair dismissal, and responding to workplace complaints such as bullying. I'm sure all of these, Paulette, you'd be happy to discuss with people that could contact you.
Most definitely. So that's our speciality. That's what we're there for. We're there to make employers' lives a lot easier, so they're not getting bogged down with the employee issues and certainly not stressing out about it. We go in there, we make it as easy as possible, and we use the best terminology and make it so practical for them. And we do have an advice line as well. So if you just want to phone up, first 30 minutes is free for new contacts. So you can phone up, book in your time through our website, and we can have a chat with you about what's going on in your workplace and how we can help.
Thank you, Paulette, for your time today, and look forward to speaking with you again.
Awesome, thank you very much.